All right, everyone. Welcome to today's charting session. Friday na naman, no? Tatapos na naman ang isang linggo. Ang bilis talaga ng panahon. I hope all of you had a profitable week. Hindi kayo sobrang na-stress or hindi kayo masyadong nabahala sa market, no? Sa mga hindi pa po nakakaalam, what we do here is we typically look at either yung mga trending names, meaning sila yung pangalan na malaki yung ginalaw, whether to the upside or to the downside, or perhaps malaki yung value traded, or in general, mas minamatahan lang ng mga tao, no? Also, tumatanggap din po tayo ng mga chart requests. So kung meron po kayong mga requests, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Now, this week, wala tayong naging focus, no? Because I said, wala talagang nag-peak ng interest ko na stock this week. So, personally, wala rin akong pinasok, no? But, again, there have been a little bit ng mga interesting moves, prices that have come into potentially interesting areas. But overall, for the way I personally trade, it was relatively an uneventful week. Okay? So, for today's charting session, we'll start off with Medic. Now, yung Medic, we are stuck in this range here. Kitang-kita naman, di ba? So, that's from 1 peso hanggang 1.12. So, while yes, it is a tradable range, and if price does come back sa piso, mag-hold, then that's something that you could look for. Okay? Possibly trading that range. However, in the grand scheme of things, at least a 30-minute time frame, we are still in a downtrend, no? Textbook definition. Lower highs, lower lows. Okay? So, it's always possible na yes, na mag-range muna siya. But pwede rin na ito na pala yung lower high na next. Tapos yung next may basag na. Tapos bagong lower low na naman tayo. And since na-break yung piso, new low altogether. So, baka mag-price exploration na naman. Kumbaga, panibagong hintay, panibagong abang, panibagong aral na naman, no? For now, yun yung current range natin. If we break to the upside, mabasag natin yung 1.12, then this range opens up from 1.12 hanggang 1.24, no? Yes, there are some minor resistances that have formed along the way, but overall, ito yung range na tinitignan ko kung mabasag man tong 1.12 altogether. Tas yun nga, kung mabasag naman tayo to the downside, edi medyo dehado talaga tong Medic. Alright? So, next, tignan po natin yung MPI. So, MPI, again, overall, pwede natin sabihin na, may wider range tayo dyan. Pwede rin natin sabihin na we are ranging this way. And, again, we can also say na mas tight na range nandito, no? So, depende kung anong klaseng trader kayo, ano outlook nyo. You will look at charts differently. Kung kunwari, short-term kayo, what does it matter kung kunwari nakatrap siya within a larger range? Syempre titignan nyo yung mas maliliit na segments. Kung kunyari long-term trader kayo, then the shorter segments, mga smaller segments matter a lot less kasi ang habol nyo mas long-term di ba? Mas pangmatagalan. Okay? Now, for MPI, ito yung bigger range na tinitignan ko. So yung low natin is around 3.5 tapos yung high is around 4.2, no? But we have segmented that into these portions below. Now that nabasag tong 3.75, okay, possible na mag-trade tayo within this range muna, between 3.62 to 3.75. Granted, it's a tight range, no? As price decides what it wants to do. What we don't want to see, di ba may mga naiwan tayo na lows dyan. Mag-pull back, mag-hold dyan, roll over, basagin tong 3.62. Kasi kapag ganon, then parang nagpo-form ka ng structure at least in the short term na you want to push to the downside. Push to the downside means baka balikan natin yung support natin dito around 3.5. Okay? Now, grain of salt. Nagkaroon ng konting rebalancing so may mockdown to. Pero hindi naman severe yung mockdown niya to the point na masasabi natin na ang tindi nung gap down, sigurado pagbating ng Lunes or something, mag-gap up yan ng malaki. Hindi naman siya ganon, no? So, while I wouldn't jump into a trade as is just because na, hindi, nandito na tayo, so dapat ganyan, di ba? Walang ganon. I will be watching out for what might happen next dun sa mga may konting rebalancing na naganap. So that didn't just happen to MPI, no? That happened to RRHI, that happened to Monde, di ba? Monde, ang laki ng minock up natin on close, no? and so on. So I'll be watching those to see what happens as we move forward, diba, in the days and weeks to come. Alright? But for now, MPI, yun yung ayaw ko makita. Untog dito sa mga naiwan na lows, roll over, break 3.62 kasi baka balikan natin yung 3.5 na low. Kung pati 3.5 na basag, then baka balikan natin tong mga naiwan na lows from before, no? However, let's say na mag-close up tayo, mag-hold tayo above 3.75, then in the short term at least, I'm looking at possibly yung range hanggang mga 4 pesos. I'm not saying na it's a tradable range, I'm not saying it's the best range, pero yun yung range na nakikita ko where price could be stuck in, at least for the meantime as it decides what it wants to do. If we can close firmly about 4 pesos, then yung next nga will be 4.2 followed by itong mga highs na naiwan above. Okay? So yun po yung sa MPI, no? Next tignan natin yung SMPH. So SMPH, ganun din. Nagkaroon din tayo ng mock-up. We were trading around about this area here. Diba? Around yesterday's candle bago nag-close na tinulak, nag-mock up tayo. Nung nag-mock up tayo, nabasag natin tong resistance natin at 37.5. However, because nga may rebalancing na naganap, because na nag-mock up tayo, I personally, this is just me ha, hindi nyo kailangan sundan, I personally don't consider this a quote-unquote breakout. Number 1, dahil nga mock up. Number 2, what really did we break out from? Diba? Yes, we broke above 37.5 to do what? Target 38.7 possibly. Next, siya yung naiwan na high dito, support here, resistance here, and so on, no? Diba? 38.7 possibly hanggang 40. Next. That's, diba, parang it's not the greatest of trades. Tapos yung risk reward, hindi rin siya maganda. Your stop would have to go somewhere beneath these levels here, diba? So the risk reward may not be all that great, no? So because of those factors, yes, I will be watching out what it does when it opens on Monday. And kung kunyari nga ba, mag-gap down tayo, saan tayo punta, we'll be watching that. And if may interesting na maganap, we'll be sure to tackle more of SMPH next week, no? For now, what I don't want to see happen is number 1, yun nga, mag-gap down, tapos mag-pull all the way down, basagin natin tong level na to, diba? May support dyan, resistance dito. Basagin natin yan, target from underneath, mag-hold, roll over. Kasi kung ganon, baka bumalik tayo sa lower half nitong wider range natin. Remember, I've always been saying for the past ilang months na ang hirap basahin ng chart ng SM tsaka ng Ali. Kasi nga they are stuck in a larger range and they are stuck in a lot of chop. Nothing has really changed from that outlook, no? Pero yun nga, if we break to the downside, basagin natin to, test from underneath, then baka mangyari, bumalik lang tayo dito sa lower end ng range na to. However, kung kunwari from here, kahit na mag-gap down tayo, mag-push up siya and we start closing above tong 37.5 firmly, then malamang nandun na nga. We might come back, tag 38.7, and if we can break that, 40 next, then after that, 42. Okay? So, yun yung tinitingnan po natin sa SMPH. For now, personally, again, I would advise a little bit of patience. Just let things play out. Diba? Let the whole rebalancing thing play out and let's see what happens from there. Alright? Next, tignan natin yung IMI. So, IMI, from our previous session, I was saying na it would be interesting kung bumalik yung price dito sa red zone. Diba? And it has come back. Okay? Despite a lot of people saying, hindi, di na babalik yan. To the moon, to the moon. That's not what the market typically does. More often than not, we do come back to test interesting areas, no? And this is an interesting area. Why? Kasi ito yung mga previous highs natin from before. Diyan tayo nabasag and from there, we pushed higher. We have now come back. So it's interesting. Because we want to see if i-defend ba ng bulls tong area na to. Okay? If let's say price pulls back a bit more, tas mag-reject tayo solid and we start pushing to the upside, then possible na ang nangyayari is yung, di ba, may low, higher low, di ba? Ito yung high, the higher high, ito yung mga previous high and so on, di ba? Possible na ganon. So, it has come back to an interesting area and we want to observe what it does from here. If magkaroon again ng bullish structure, then that might be a sign na we are ready to push higher, possibly targeting tong 10.94 to 11 next. Kasi may naiwan tayong double top dito na hindi pa natin nababalikan, di ba? And if nabasag yung 11, then 11.72 yung next level na tinitignan natin na potential resistance. However, if sabihin naman natin mabasag tong red zone na to altogether, tapos mag-test tayo underneath, mag-hold yan, then we roll over, then highly likely ang mangyayari is mai-stuck muna tayo sa range na to where price was ranging before, di ba? Between 8 pesos to 9.2. So, we could come back there, ma-stuck na naman tayo sa range na yan, at least for the short term, and then maghihintay na naman tayo to see what price wants to do from there. Will it just range dun sa area na yon? Will it fall further? Will it break beneath tong 8 pesos? Possibly come back and tag yung low natin at 7.3? Okay? We don't know yet, no? But those are the scenarios that we are watching out for dito sa IMI, or at least I'm watching out for. Alright? And then finally, tignan po natin yung X. So again, X is a requested chart, no? And since we last talked about X, nothing much has really happened. We are still stuck within this range here from 0.385 hanggang 0.49. Again, potentially a tradable range. Diba? So ano nga nangyari? Diba? We pushed down, came back, tested tong 49 na area, 0.49, reject, bumaba ulit. So, yun yung pinaparod natin ngayon. Maaaring mag-range siya dyan, tapos pahihintayin natin anong mangyayari. Kung mabasag tong 0.385, edi new low na naman tayo. Diba? New all-time low. Pag new all-time low, again, ganun na naman, price exploration. And then maghihintay tayo ulit what structure forms before we can make a more informed analysis on what could possibly come next. However, if we can trade firmly above tong 0.49, 0.5 na area, then that opens up this range here hanggang 0.57, no? Tapos kung mabasag yung 0.57, the next level of resistance will be around 0.69. Okay? Although we will acknowledge na meron tayong mga minor resistances na nag-form around this area here na pwede ring pag-untugan ng price, and that's around 0.64, 0.635 more or less na area. Okay? So yun po yung tinitingnan ko sa X. Personally, if you ask me, it's a hard trade, no? Hard trade in the sense na, yes, the ranges in and of itself are profitable. Medyo malaki. Kumbaga, ang sarap tignan kasi parang, 10%, 15%, 20% agad yung pwedeng i-increase just by playing it within the range. And that's true, no? However, the flip side is also true in the sense na kung mabasag yung support na inaabangan nyo, di ba? Yung konting galaw din lang, pwedeng 10%, 15%, 20% din yung kapalit. A lot of people like to trade na kailangan sobrang tight, 5% lang. As I've said in numerous occasions, I'm not a fan of that. I don't think I'm good enough to say na, hindi, kailangan kapag hindi to nag-touch exactly sa level na gusto ko, diba? Kailangan i-cut ko na. Ganun ako kagaling, na kailangan saktong-sakto. Dapat ako yung tama, hindi yung market yung masusunod. I'm personally not a big fan of that. I don't think I'm that good. Maybe some of you are, but I personally don't think I am. Okay? So, because of that, I tend to give more buffer sa trades, which is why I don't like taking trades like this na mas mahirap i-assess yung risk. Diba? Bibili ka at support, mabasag, ikakat mo agad. Who's to say na it won't go down by 1 or 2 ticks then fly up? You don't know Pero magkakat tayo. Kasi sabihin natin, hindi, nag-below support na. Diba? Yun yung mahirap. We can't be too precise. We always work in areas. Diba? We always work in terms of areas. So, yun yung dahilan kaya sinasabi ko, ingat lang dito sa X. So, kahit na medyo tempting, konting prudence lang. Siyempre, kung kunwari pasok siya sa system nyo, then by all means, no, you should trade it. Diba? Wag kayo papapigil. Pero kung hindi, wag po natin pilitin. Don't trade just for the sake of trading. Hintay tayo na ma-award yung patience natin. Okay? So guys, ito po nagtatapos yung video natin. I hope kahit papano may natutunan po kayo, no? And nakatulong to sa inyo kahit konti. And as always, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!